along the I-10 corridor, then it's going to go down 95, it's going to go down 75 south right into Florida. Tampa, we're going to be one of the places where we could see a few showers. It's going to be heaviest here up into the Panhandle from the state capital westbound over to the Alabama border. But as it does come through the state, you won't see as much sunshine, but we won't see also severe weather. So it'll kind of be in between. I don't think it's going to be a total washout of a weekend, but you'll have just a few more clouds and sun, which a lot of you might say, yes, please. It has been so warm, so hot, so humid down here. We never really got a break from the summer. It stayed warm all winter long. So getting a little shade from that sun. And if you're in Florida playing sports, especially outside, you will take that shade. I feel like even if you're not playing sports, you love when that cloud goes right in front of the sun. It drops the temperature significantly. Watch out if you're in the water, especially on the Atlantic coast. That's where we will see those rip currents. And then rain. We could see flooding into Gainesville all the way up into Jackson, St. Augustine as well. The first coast, but this is going to go through all 11 coasts. Yes, and the fun coast, basically St. Augustine down into Daytona, but just north of the Space Coast, which is where you have Titusville right here, where obviously they do all the launches at. And as we head into next week, when it is spring break for some kids in South Florida, we actually will see sunshine return. We could use a little rain. Now, this is our dry season, but we are extra dry, anywhere from 3 to 6 inches below average. Of course, the wet season, hurricane season, which starts June 1st. Let's hope that that treats us well, because it was a rough one here, especially into Southwest Florida. There is your drought monitor. Essentially, the entire state is pretty dry. Where you see the tan colors, that's where drought is. Where it's just yellow and dry, Jim, that just means you're going into or coming out of a drought. It's not technically drought conditions.
So is the wet season halfway between rabbit season and duck season?
Exactly.
Just asking.
Yes.
All right, fatty flakes across the heartland here.
So you'll notice, look at these gravity waves here, right on the back of this, right there. There's so much you could look at in this imagery here, but this is our visible satellite imagery, as if you were sitting on the moon and literally just looking down at the Earth. And these things really cranked out the hail. It was outrageous, 2, 3, 4-inch hail. So we're talking about anywhere from, you know, lime size of baseball up into softball size. Jim, is there anything you want to point out in particular? I see you over there.
No, I just love that stuff.
Yeah.
And you can, you know, the anvils
around the country this time of year. Our first stop is in Middle Georgia, where this time of year over 350,000 Yoshino cherry trees bloom in all of their spring glory.
All right, joining us live to talk about the Macon, Georgia International Cherry Blossom Festival is Festival Chair Kenny Bergamy. Hey, Kenny, thanks for taking the time to talk to us this morning. It's called the Pinkest Party on Earth. Tell us about this festival and where you guys are at with the cherry blossoms.
Good to talk to you. The Cherry Blossom Festival being planted.
They do. They don't love a late season cold snap. That's what they don't love. So, Kenny, actually, let's talk about this a little bit, because we had one heck of a warm February. We saw, I think, the Okami cherries, which is the one that comes out early, really bloom fast. Did you guys get a little bit too fast a peak? Were you worried there?
We were worried. I was worried anyway. But
you guys diet pink?
You know, there are some other drinks that are made green. Beautiful cocktails.
Yeah, I was onto something.
Yeah, listen, they're good. Sparkling rosé. There's a lot of pink options out there. A nice little. I bet there's a lot of rosé flowing.
Absolutely. There is.
How long does the festival last? I mean, it's like you know, like DC and their cherry blossom. It's kind of a range of days, because you've got the blossoms that last for a range of days.
Right. We'll go through Sunday, March.
Kenny, your energy's great.
Yeah, we're looking at these great pictures down there, Kenny.
I saw the fountain was dyed pink. It's
right. Hey, where do you get the tickets again?
Yeah, you can buy the tickets at the Carolyn Creighton Park, and you can go online. Let me plug this. You can get them on cherryblossom.com, and also there's a new app. You put in cherry.
Welcome back into Pattern. Food waste is a big problem for the planet and your wallet. While meal prepping and scaling back your shopping can obviously help the problem, there's actually another way to save food that goes back generations.
Yep, we got Sarah Thrush, a homesteading economist and food preservationist, joining us now to talk about canning. Now, to be honest, I've always been very intimidated. Like, I've liked the idea, but I'm kind of intimidated. Is it tough? You're awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Homesteading
we'll come over for
economist.
dinner next weekend.
Yeah, and food preservationist. Thank you so much educating us on so much. I love that you can literally.
Appreciate it.
I mean, did you see that? It was a St. Patty's
did.
Day in a pint. You could just go in there and eat
The hard part
it.
for me is like figuring out what I want for dinner. She's got so many options. It's not like 3 things like in my fridge. It's like, no, I can eat anything I want.
For more stories
Welcome
like
back
these.
to Pattern. So the International Association of Firefighters, they're taking action to get toxic forever chemicals removed from their gear.
Yeah.
The question
Can't blame
is,
them for this.
can you create new gear without those in it that'll also save your
Right,
lives,
yeah,
right? And
yeah.
so that's something that they'll probably test. So every year, 90% of the shoes we buy, they end up in landfills,
Oy.
right? So to help cut back on the waste, American petrochemical firm Dow and the government of Singapore, they created a recycling partnership for old sneakers.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But 2 years
But-
later, there are questions over that partnership, so Reuters sent in a reporter to investigate.
You know, it's hard when we do investigation like that. It's hard to trust anyone. It's hard to trust. That's the thing. It's like you think, oh, they're doing good, so okay. But not, and then if you find out, it's like, man, disappointed again.
Well, who is it? Mr. Rogers said, find the good people, the heroes in the world, right? Who said it? The helpers. Find the helpers. That was. Find the helpers
find
in the
the
world.
helpers, yeah.
There are some
The
helpers
ones that are
out there.
actually helping.
Yeah, those are find the helpers.
Oh, and that's a helper.
Lynette is definitely going to help us when it
Like,
comes to the weather. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, guys, we definitely need to me.
Helping.
There's like 320 million
She's a
Americans.
helper.
Yeah.
That's not helping.
See, she's helping you. How do you telling you how to prepare
That's true.
for it?
Hey, here's what's coming up on Monday here on Pattern. Whether your food is from a local